Hi, welcome back to my channel. We are in phase 3 of my stable making series. At this point, the stable is done and just needs some doors, which I will be making and attaching in this video. If you haven't seen the first 2 videos where I make the stable, then click the link in the upper right hand corner. My first step was measuring and cutting sheets of basswood to the size of my door and window opening. I'm cutting my doors from this craftwood sheet because I had it on hand. I used this little hacksaw and some elbow grease to get the job done. But I really am convinced that cardboard and a box cutter would work just fine for this portion of the project. After that was done, I started cutting craft sticks using wire cutters to box in the doors. Once you have your angle figured out, you can use a straight edge to mark your angle cuts, as I am showing you here. Make sure your craft stick doesn't move as you mark both cuts. Those tiny fingers at the bottom of the screen belong to my youngest baby. He likes to help. I really didn't like the craft stick look of it, so I'm using wood filler to fill in the cracks and make it look more clean and solid. Once again, I'm not worried about getting it all over because it's really easy to sand down. Then, using a sculpting tool, I am cleaning up the edges and corners a bit. Once it was dried, I started sanding. I love how the wood filler changed the look of the craft sticks. I kind of like the rewarding sound they make when they clack together. Am I weird or does that sound genuinely pleasant? Here it is again. I then decided to go ahead and give the wood some grooves and nicks. These doors are meant to look old and worn. That part was fun, and I really liked the effect. And I painted them. Using the same effect I used on the wood of the stable, I am feathering lighter shades of brown over the wood to create depth and highlights. Building up the effect gradually makes the wood appear worn. On a whim, I painted the inner panels green, and I really like the look of it with the dark wood. Next, I'm attaching the hinges. Using the sharp point of an awl, I had to poke holes in the wood where I wanted the screws to go. Then, I applied the hinge and put the screws in using a mini screwdriver. I got these hinges on Amazon and will probably be using them in a lot of projects. Now I'm drilling holes for the hardware. Making the hardware was challenging also, but after messing with some baling wire and various tools for about 45 minutes, I finally got the hang of it. This baling wire is really strong and tough, so I needed to use lineman pliers to get the job done. But I wanted to know that once the gate latches were done, they wouldn't bend out of shape anytime soon. Attaching the doors was something I thought was going to be fun, but it was a whole different issue. I did most of it off camera just because it was so fiddly and time consuming. I ended up having to glue the hinges to the stable to keep them in place while I put the screws in. Hanging the doors straight also turned out to be an unexpected challenge. It was quite frustrating, but after having to rehang them a couple of times, I finally got it right. I made some more hardware using the same wire bending method, beating up the wire a little bit so the glue will cling to it better. I then drilled holes once I figured out exactly where they should go. So that's the conclusion to the stone stable making series. This won't be the last stable I'll be making for sure. I'm thinking of making the next realistic barn strictly out of cardboard and craft sticks just to show that it can be done. Let me know in the comments what you think of that idea. The next video in the works is wooden fences and galvanized round corrals. So subscribe for all that fun goodness and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching!